Today's story is called Picnic in the Field. My mum's given me some sandwiches to take and go and see my friend. I've got 5 bread cakes, and as it's Friday, I've got some fish fingers. That's my picnic. So I went to this field, and as I was walking through, I suddenly started seeing a crowd start to gather, and I wondered what had happened. And you know me, I'm a nosy person. So I went across to sit down to see what happened. This man, I think they called his name Jesus, he was a carpenter, and he started telling stories. Now, I'd heard that he told some really wonderful stories. So I thought I'll sit and listen, and if his story wasn't too long, I'd be able to go and see my friend as well. So there was I in the field. He told everyone to sit down on the ground, and he told his followers, his helpers, to give us food. There were no supermarkets nearby, grocery stores, no one-stop, 24/7s or whatever. How was he going to feed all these people? And then somebody said to him, there's a little boy over there, and he's got a lunchbox. And he's got 5 bread cakes and 2 fish. And Jesus said to them, bring it here. Bring the boy here. And he says to me, he says, now then lad, can I borrow your... And I looked at him and I thought, well, not really, because it's only for me and my friend. And if you're thinking of sharing it with all these people, I thought you told really good stories, magical stories. But this is daft. But when you come across something that's really, really weird, you want to go with it, don't you? You want to see what it's like. You want to see how exciting it gets. So I sort of said, okay, let's see what you can do with it. And I'm thinking, my mum will be absolutely gobsmacked when I tell her what I've just gone through. And so he just started to take the fish and the bread, and he said, give that to somebody. And then he said, fish and bread, and give that to somebody. And he just carried on doing that. The more he gave out, the more came. Fish after fish after fish after fish. Bread after bread after bread after bread after bread. Fish and bread, fish and bread, fish and bread, fish and bread. Everyone had eaten. And they said 5,000 men had been fed. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you've heard yourself. Either your mum and dad has said it to you, or they've said it to each other, but you've heard this before. Clean up after you. Take rubbish with you. Don't dirty up the countryside. And so Jesus told his followers, his helpers, his disciples, go and collect all the pieces. We don't want this place looking a right mess. And they went off to collect what was left behind. I told you, whenever Jesus told stories, really magical things happened. They collected 12 baskets. Not 12 fish, not 12 bread cakes, 12 baskets full of fish and bread cake. And I can't count more than 5. All I had, 5 loaves and 2 fish. There were 12 baskets. You work that out, and when you find out how that was done, you come and tell me. Another adventure in the Bible.